I'm Reece.
I'm Dea.
And we are
Literally dead. Whoa. I'm sorry for sitting down in this one, but we're talking about the long walk today.
Oh yeah, we're going to sit down to talk about The Long Walk. Another Fright Bite. This is our short form content where we tell you to get out and watch a film that we just watched.
In the cinema.
Yes. And this one's a doozy.
This one is. If you've been following any kind of film or even horror content creator, they have been hyped about The Long Walk for a very long time. It's a very popular Stephen King book. They have been waiting for this. The trailer looked great. Everyone and their mum wanted to see this film if they had an ounce of an interest in horror.
Yeah. I don't feel like the trailer did it justice.
Okay.
Because when I saw the trailer, it seemed a little bit more lighthearted. It seemed a bit more, I don't want to use the word goofy, but goofy in a good way. Like, I thought it was going to be, it's going to be more of a fun film, you know? Yeah. I knew some of the topics, so I knew it wasn't, but they just, I don't know, it just didn't seem as serious or as well done as it is.
The only thing I knew was, like, the premise. The premise is 50 boys, one boy from each state in America, has the chance to win a lot of money by walking a certain distance and being the last person standing, essentially. And you walk until nobody else is left to win.
Yeah. And
you have to walk at 3 miles per hour, which I believe is the marching pace for the US or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, and you can't stop.
You have to keep going.
Yes.
And it can last days.
Yeah.
No breaks.
It's not a horror in the traditional sense, like jump scares and monsters and slashers. It's a more like a societal apocalyptic horror in a sense.
Yeah. It's very topical.
The horror is the system.
The horror is the system. Yeah. Yes. It's very anti-capitalism, etc., etc.
The slight spoiler, it's if you stop walking, you will get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about the characters.
I will say, you know what vibes it gave me?
What?
And I actually said this out loud, and then I was like, no fucking, obviously. But it very much reminded me of, like, Stand By Me.
Oh, yeah.
It gave me that same, like, every few, and obviously that's obviously Stephen King as well. Every few years, I just feel like this film comes out, and it's just proper, like, straight man crybait. But it's just really heart-wrecking.
Really good straight man crybait.
Yeah, and it's one of those, and it's so good. It's very emotionally wrecking. I definitely cried more than I thought I would. Yeah. And it's interesting.
I knew it was going to be sad. But I didn't expect to feel so hollow after having seen the film.
Yeah, especially when you know the premise, because, again, not necessarily giving away spoilers, but you've already said this. It's 50 boys.
Yeah.
You know, or men, should I say.
Yeah, they're like 18 to like 20 or some shit.
You know going in that there's only supposed to be one that stands. Yeah. You know that. So you know that the majority of them are already going to die at some point. You know that you're going to lose them. And yet it still manages to find ways to make their deaths tragic, because don't get me wrong, the circumstances are, and like you said, the horror is the system, and that is what is so tragic about the film, is watching these lives be lost to this system, a lot of which these lives and these problems being parallel to issues that we're having in the real world at the moment, especially
militarism and the right-wing pipeline.
Yeah,
I think that you know going in that only one character is going to live, and you pick a character, whether it's the main character or not, and you think, okay, that's the one that's going to live, the rest of them are going to die. In my head I was like, I shouldn't care about anyone else, but it managed to make me care anyway. This film is so empathetic towards young men, which I really liked, and it makes its characters very likable and understandable. As to why they're there, why they would volunteer for this.
And there's a spectrum of them too. They're all different backgrounds, different reasons, different personalities, different representations.
Definitely.
Because there's so much more I can say about this film. Like, how much can we even talk about in such short time? How much can we talk about without spoiling too much? But just the commentary is endless. I mean, it also speaks to, like, voyeurism and the fact that this long walk that they do is televised.
Yeah.
And the whole country...
And spectators come to watch them.
Yeah, in person. And on one hand, it's not necessarily like, you know, the Hunger Games where you have, like, these posh rich people watching the poor, like, fight for their lives.
Everyday people who are stuck watching these young boys go through this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's heart-wrenching, really is.
They're just as much victims as they are almost perpetrators.
Yeah.
And I almost noticed at one point, actually, this sounds silly, and this, I don't know if this is spoilery, so you might want to cut this out, but if not, keep it. But there is a family on the side of the road that is watching them walk past, eating lunch, and the boys get angry at them. You know, they say, like, oh, you know, that they're, like, creeps, or that they're, like, evil for watching. And one thing you noticed is that, like, there was no boys at that table.
No, there wasn't.
It was a mother and, like, her 2 little girls.
Yeah. Because they feel like they're safe from this fate because it's only men who are allowed to do this.
Also, you can make assumptions. Maybe she did have a son.
Maybe they did go in there, yeah.
Or maybe, you know, the father to these kids is like gone.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I also think that it's really notable that the men themselves in this film, they know that they have to walk until they die, or until the end.
Yeah.
But they continuously try to help each other. They continuously try to make friends and talk to each other.
And look for community.
And look for a community. And even one of them who, in the film, says, a man's got to have a few buddies, you know.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder because they're suddenly ripped away in horrible, dehumanizing ways.
And the system is telling them to. The system is telling them not to be friends.
It's forcibly isolating these men, much like our own system is isolating young men right now.
Because the system is telling them that they have to like let go of each other to be able to win, that they need to throw others under the bus for them to make money. Yeah. It's also the pressure on these young men, you know, because lottery is for men, and they're told that this is their responsibility on behalf of their families to save their families from poverty and the conditions that they're living in, that rests solely on their shoulders. And as one of the characters says, like, as much as it's a voluntary lottery, it's not necessarily voluntary, because you are told that it is the only way that you'll live a life beyond, you know, the poverty they're living in.
Yeah. The system says it brings hope to everyone in the country, yet it's murdering that hope. It's murdering its own country's future for the sake of keeping everyone else in line.
Yeah.
It's very allegorical. It's very much like, oh, isn't this fitting in the times right now? Why don't you look at your own life and how your system is impacting you right now?
I honestly gave the film like a 4.2 out of 5.
I gave it a 4, yeah. I really liked it.
I really did too. I think it's almost like an objectively well-made film.
I think it will win Academy Awards, you know.
I could see it happening too, which is so amazing because it's such a small visual film in the sense that the
it's
film,
not very visually interesting, I'll say that.
The film, every shot is just guys walking down a road. Mm-hmm. Now, of course,
reverse shot, but of course it's limited by its own premise.
Exactly.
But it's carried by its performances.
But I will say they do stretch that. You know, they use the environment, they use the weather against them. You know, it's almost like the Gothic in the sense that, like, oh, the weather is its character of its own.
Yeah.
But it is true. You know, the incline of the hill working against them, the rain and the storms working against them, the heat working against them.
Yeah.
This element of nature is part of what is, you know, killing them, should we say?
Definitely. At the end of the film, I wanted to, like, cry and scream, but also, like, shoot a fascist in the face. Is what I felt after the movie ended.
I think it does also have the themes of, like, you know, the fatigue with the system, you know, system fatigue.
It pushes you and pushes you and pushes you until you could be pushed no further.
People who had some of the greatest outlooks in life can be, like, rotted, you know? They can be spoiled.
Definitely. I feel bad that we have to do this as a Fright Bite because, to be honest with you, I would love to do this as a podcast episode where we can delve into spoilers and talk about all the different, like, writing tropes. Yeah. But this is essentially free advertising for the film. If you were on the fence about going to see this film, I think you should. Yes.
Well, because I think this is why it's so important to make these, because I even, like, recommended this to my brother. As soon as we watched the film, I messaged my brother because I think he would love this, and he messaged me. He said, "Oh, really? I watched the trailer and it looks silly. I don't know. I wasn't good. I didn't think it'd be any good." Yeah, I was like, "You stupid! Like, go!" That's why it's important to make these. Please go. Mm-hmm. Some people need to be told.
Absolutely.
Although some people hate to be told. Like, I'm not gonna go watch it. It's just too popular. Like, nah, you like it too much. I'm not going. If you're that person,
fuck you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with things being popular? Like, enjoy it. Talk about other people with it, as opposed to, you know.
It's not just bad. It's genuinely good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to cry at something, you know, and if you like films like Stand By Me, you like those straight man crybaby films where it's just about, like, friendship and bonds, go watch it. You're gonna love it. Yeah. Take your straight male friends. They're allowed to cry at this one.
They're allowed to cry anyway, but they should be crying in this one. It will be a while before I come back to this movie, but I know I will come back to it. Yeah. And that's what's great about, like, a really horrible, disturbing movie like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the whole family. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening.
Subscribe. You can find us wherever you find your podcasts.
We're on all social media. That'll be linked below. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Bye.
We love you.